2017. After landing at a tower-controlled airport, a pilot should contact ground control. A. When advised by the tower. B. Prior to turning off the runway. C. After reaching a taxiway that leads directly to the parking area. The correct answer is A. After landing at a tower-controlled airport, the pilot should follow the instructions given by the tower controller. The tower controller will provide guidance on when and how to contact ground control. Typically, the tower controller will advise the pilot to contact ground control after landing and clearing the runway. This ensures smooth coordination and communication between the pilot and ground control for further taxi instructions and parking directions. It is important for the pilot to wait for the tower controller's instruction before contacting ground control, as the tower controller is responsible for sequencing aircraft movements and providing necessary clearances. Therefore, the pilot should contact ground control after being advised to do so by the tower controller. 3111. A steady green light signal directed from the control tower to an aircraft in flight is a signal that the pilot A. is cleared to land. B. should give way to other aircraft and continue circling. C. should return for landing. The correct answer is A. A steady green light signal directed from the control tower to an aircraft in flight is a signal to the pilot that they are cleared to land. This signal indicates that the runway is clear and the pilot has permission to proceed with the landing. Green light signals are used by air traffic control to communicate with pilots when voice communication may not be possible or when it is necessary to provide clear and immediate instructions. The steady green light signal is specifically used to indicate clearance to land. It's important for pilots to understand and follow these light signals to ensure safe and efficient operations at the airport. When a pilot receives a steady green light signal, they should continue their approach and land on the designated runway. 3115. An alternating red and green light signal directed from the control tower to an aircraft in flight is a signal to A. hold position. B. exercise extreme caution. C. not land. The airport is unsafe. The correct answer is B. An alternating red and green light signal directed from the control tower to an aircraft in flight is a signal to the pilot to exercise extreme caution. This signal is used to alert the pilot of a potential hazard or to indicate a warning condition. It is often given when there may be confusion or conflicting instructions, or when there is a need for the pilot to remain vigilant and proceed with caution. When a pilot receives an alternating red and green light signal, it is important for them to carefully assess the situation, be prepared for unexpected changes, and take appropriate actions to ensure the safety of the flight. The specific meaning of this signal may vary depending on the circumstances, so it is crucial for the pilot to exercise caution and be prepared to respond accordingly. It's important for pilots to be familiar with light signals and understand their meanings, as they can be used to communicate with aircraft in situations where radio communication may be unavailable or unreliable. 3112. Which light signal from the control tower clears a pilot to taxi? A. flashing green. B. steady green. C. flashing white. The correct answer is A. A flashing green light signal from the control tower to an aircraft on the ground is a signal that clears the pilot to taxi. This signal indicates that the pilot is authorized to move the aircraft on the ground and proceed with taxiing. When a pilot sees a flashing green light, they should acknowledge the signal by moving the aircraft and taxiing as instructed. It's important for pilots to be familiar with light signals and their meanings, as they can be used to communicate with aircraft in situations where radio communication may be unavailable or unreliable. It's worth noting that light signals are used as a secondary means of communication and are typically employed when radio communication is not possible or has failed. Pilots should always prioritize radio communication with air traffic control (ATC) and follow their instructions, but they should be prepared to respond to light signals when necessary. 3113. If the control tower uses a light signal to direct a pilot to give way to other aircraft and continue circling, the light will be A. Flashing red, B. Steady red, C. Alternating red and green. The correct answer is B. Light signals are used by air traffic control to communicate with pilots in situations where radio communication may be unavailable or unreliable. These signals help ensure safe and orderly aircraft operations on the ground and in the air. Here are the details about the light signals mentioned. Steady green. A steady green light signal from the control tower indicates clearance for the pilot to proceed. When given this signal, the pilot is authorized to taxi, take off, or land, depending on the phase of flight. Flashing green. A flashing green light signal is used to direct a pilot to taxi. It indicates that the pilot should proceed with caution and taxi clear of the runway or to a designated area. Steady red. A steady red light signal means the pilot must stop. It requires the aircraft to remain stationary on the ground or hold its position in the air. Alternating red and green. An alternating red and green light signal is used as a cautionary signal. It indicates that the pilot should exercise extreme caution. These light signals are an important means of communication between air traffic control and pilots, especially in situations where verbal communication is not possible or effective. Pilots are trained to recognize and respond to these signals in accordance with aviation regulations and procedures to ensure the safety of flight operations.